Welcome to Real Estate IQ Wisdom for Smart Moves. Featuring Kathy Gamch and Melissa Palafox Ofiana from Chicago Title.
Are there any other paperwork a buyer should look at when they're buying an HOA property?
Definitely the HOA documents,
Sure.
the CC&Rs. It's everybody's supposed to get and read their CC&Rs. They're about this thick,
Right.
so people don't tend to read them. But things pop up a lot of times. The things that are in the CC&Rs are no longer valid these days. But there are things that are relevant. So, the HOA docs are, if they're purchasing a property with an HOA, those are very important.
On the topic of HOA, they should read the HOA demand. The HOA demand is going to tell them exactly what their monthly dues are. If they have a copy of minutes from the HOA, take a look at the last couple meeting minutes and see if there's been any address about special assessments, future special assessments. Sometimes a buyer comes on board when they're just initially discussing possibly a new roof for the whole condominium. And so that's going to impact a buyer, especially if they have to afford $200 every month for the special assessment on top of their mortgage, on top of their HOA dues. Those are great things to know. Another item would be when they're purchasing the property, the buyer's not always responsible for the ordering of the HOA docs and the transfer fee. Sometimes it's the buyer responsible for paying those. And sometimes when the buyer goes to sell that property, they're not realizing that those were costs involved. So sometimes if they read through the HOA demand, it'll stipulate how much the transfer fee was, how much the docs were. So in the event when they go to sell the property in years' time, that they're aware that those are going to be additional costs that they're going to have to incur.
Check the full episode on our YouTube channel and on Apple Podcast.